Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we're so excited that you're here for the first Geeks Corner during holidays at the Disneyland Resort, which is hard to believe. It's the most wonderful time of the year already. Did you want to say anything?
Tiana can't believe it either.
Okay, there you go. What should people do, Katie?
You should go into the chat and you should tell us your favorite thing about holidays at the Disneyland Resort. I have a feeling I know what your favorite is.
What do you think? I'm actually curious.
Well, I have a serious answer and a non-serious answer.
Go for them both.
Non-serious answer is the gingerbread cookies. The new ones.
Okay.
That they just brought out.
Okay.
And the serious one is when it snows on Main Street and they do the White Christmas piano.
Which I haven't seen yet.
I know, but that actually is your favorite.
That is one of my favorites. How about yours?
I wasn't ready for that question. Even though I
warned you this time.
I know.
I don't usually tell her what the question's going to be, and she just kind of discovers it because she sees it in the chat. But this time, I gave her a heads up.
Yeah, but I still don't know. I think Mickey's Happy Holidays is definitely one of them.
Okay.
As is the new Mariachi Alegria.
Yeah,
I think those are both, like, weirdly enough,
the Encanto.
Both things that happen on Buena Vista Street.
And the Encanto show.
Yes, but
we'll get into those.
Yeah. But those two are probably my favorites.
And Roger says it's a small world holiday.
That's
excellent choice.
It's such a good choice.
Yes, you cannot go wrong with that. It's probably one of the most beautiful spots in the parks during the holidays, I think.
I don't want them to, but I would love. Okay, hold on. Let me put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. I wouldn't want them to incorporate the music changes that Richard Sherman wrote. But I would love it if it was on like a banner in the finale scene or something.
For the holiday version?
Either.
Or just in general? Okay.
In general.
Clocky likes Mostly Kosher, which was fantastic. We watched them on Sunday. They are one of the best. I totally agree. We've got Fat Cat Swinger this year, which we watched last night. Also very fun. And we assume it's going to be fun. We haven't seen them yet. What is it? The Secret Agent bands are coming up next week, which will also be a lot of fun as well. But we're going to get into the holidays. We'll get back to this. So keep letting us know in the comments what you think your favorite part of the holidays are. We'll return to those later in the show. But we're going to start off chronologically for the week, which started a week ago tomorrow when we arrived before the parks opened, actually.
The longest 7 days.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure grand opening, I guess you could say, media event. And that started with us checking in at like 6:30 in the morning, going over to Lewis Critter Club in Bayou Country. We got bussed over there. Got to check out this lovely new little store in reimagined store, I guess, in Bayou Country that is themed as kind of a jazz club that Lewis runs. And Mama Odie has her place to sit, and there's little doors for the different performers throughout the park or throughout the room, and a bunch of other little details. What did you think of this store now that I've over-explained it?
Fair. I loved it. I thought it was...
even get into the carvings.
Those are really good.
They are good.
I think it's really cute. I think there's details hidden everywhere that you can really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Tiana's having an adventure. One may call it a Bayou adventure.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's really fun things. I like that there's possums and trees. I like that there's
a nod to the past inhabitant of the store.
I like that there's flies in martini glasses instead of olives. Like, I think there's a lot of really fun, creative things. I just think my only complaint is that maybe... What's that place called now?
Pooh Corner?
Yeah, I don't think it makes as much sense now.
I think it's fine, but I think there's a level of detail
that they
almost need to bump up the game for Pooh Corner now.
I agree completely.
Because it does kind of, like, it's so detailed and intricate, and, you know, from the way the building has this trees growing up through it to the stage, and that, like, there's just so much going on that it really does.
Well, I think if they matched that level,
it'd be amazing.
It'd be great.
It would probably be the best shopping area in the, like, themed wise, other than, I guess you could say Galaxy. I guess actually Cars Land probably also. But
I do love
but
sandwiches.
it's that level of storytelling in the stores. And it was interesting talking to the Imagineer, who was one of the people behind it, and just the level of care and thought that was put into the story just for this one store, and then also over for Ray's Berets and for the whole area. Like, it was very interesting hearing the thought process, and it seemed like story leads on everything
Good.
from what we were picking up. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Okay. It's like, yes,
I was just saying that's a very good thing.
Yes, it's very good. So that's where our day started. In theory, right after that, we were going to go on Tiana's Bayou adventure. But Tiana was off on another adventure, apparently. So that started a little bit later. We got to hang out with our good friends, Jeff and Denise from Mouse Steps, for quite some time. And then it just worked out that we all ended up going on basically at the same time. Like, they were one boat ahead of us, or one round ahead of us. And the way it worked out is because our timing just has not worked out super well. We had not been on this attraction ever. Like, no incarnation of this, never been on the attraction. So we have this on the YouTube channel, but we thought it'd be fun to show you our very first ride on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, because our first ride was on a log with a camera and a computer in the front of it. And
it was quite the setup.
It really was. So we're going to show it to you real quick. It's very short. They did a nice job of keeping it succinct. But here is our very first ride on Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Look at all these beautiful faces.
Hello? Any musicians down here who want to jam?
They can play.
Listen to this. These cats can play.
But we'll all stand
Wow, this joint is hopping.
these tiny musicians you found. To the party!
You'll get there in no time.
And that's it.
Loved it.
It's very cute. That's a highlight reel. It doesn't capture everything. If you want to see the whole thing, we do have a video. Actually, have a couple of videos up with the entire attraction on them.
It's still, I said it on the Patreon, which patreon.com/dapsmagic. Find us. But I said on the Patreon, there was this part where our log bumped or something, but we both looked at each other like, and I was so hoping it was going to be in the video. I knew it wasn't going to make it, but it was so funny.
Yes, absolutely have to make sure the hat didn't fly away. I do think it's funny on the big drop when we hit the bottom, you can hear you screaming and me going, whoa. But
which is very on brand for us.
So we are hearing a lot of people say that you get wetter on the West Coast, or wetter this time around than you did in its previous iteration. That was not my experience. I went on it twice during the preview. Granted, neither time was the boat or the log full. But I walked away. I was dry within like 20 minutes. Like, I got, my arm was a little bit wet, and then like part of my leg was wet, but my shoes were dry. Thank goodness, because that was what I was really worried about. And I guess I got some splashes on my glasses on my face, but like,
my really pants were wet just from sitting on a wet seat.
Oh yeah, I guess there was a little bit of that too. But like, I really think it depends how full the log is, perhaps, and it could also just be one of those things where it's been gone. Like, the attraction was closed for what, a year and a half, and it could just be one of those things where memories fade a little bit, and you just forget how wet you got before. Because to me, it was about the same as what I remembered going on by myself.
As somebody who has ridden it 21 times in one day,
quite a bit.
It feels similar to me.
Yeah.
Also.
So I don't know, like, maybe, but I'm doubting it. And And that was what it seemed like for Jeff and Denise also, just because Jeff and I went on it again after our filmed ride so we could film the attraction. And
Denise and I said,
we both were like, we're fine. Like, it was great. That evening, we had a big party in New Orleans Square in Bayou Country. You could go on the ride. You could go on, not Pirates. You could go on Haunted Mansion Holiday. They had some of the best food I think I've ever had at a Disney media event. It was fantastic. It was all themed to New Orleans. And
I am still thinking about that red bean and rice.
yeah, it was fantastic. But the big highlight of the night was they did a kind of a show that was kind of the kickoff moment. That was I think they considered it the grand opening moment for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And it had Anika Noni Rose, it had Jennifer Lewis, it had PJ Morton, who wrote the special Spice song for the attraction, all performing during this, what was it? Probably like 15, 20-minute show.
Something like that.
And then fireworks behind the Mark Twain and dancers on the Mark Twain, and Lewis showed up, and like, it was very impressive. I thought, like, it was a very good use of the space, and it also just reminded you how great it was 10 years ago. When did they have the 15 years ago, whatever it was, when they had the
Can you believe Tiana?
is that the Jubilee? Is that what they called it?
Tiana Showboat
Jubilee. I think that's what it was. Which we have video of that on our YouTube channel.
Came out 15 years ago. That's crazy.
But it really was, my takeaway from the whole thing is it's a fun next step for the area. The overall story of Bayou Country, New Orleans Square, the attractions inside of them are way more cohesive than they've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole area now kind of makes sense as an ongoing story, even though Bayou Country and New Orleans Square are two different lands. They really do blend well together now, I feel like. And love the stories of the shops. Love the story in Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. The story was fun in Tiana's Bayou Adventure. If I were to nitpick it, I wish there'd been like some sort of a
conflict.
Yeah, like, something went wrong. You know, like, what's the, like, maybe a little bit more of a weight to success or failure or something. You know, like, I don't know. But at the same time, I had smiles on my face the entire attraction.
Yeah, same.
So I don't care.
I think that it tried to undo the faults of Splash Mountain, and the Splash Mountain faults, in my opinion, that's my opinion. They made it too doom and gloom. Like, they literally had his mom over here singing about how he's going to be rabbit stew, and you've got the vultures being like, "Hey, you're looking for a laughing place," and so I think they were trying to cancel out that and bring this levity and make it fun. But I was like, I want, like, it doesn't need to be a big conflict. Just like, maybe, oh no, a rabbit stole our rutabaga and now we have to go over the falls. Like,
yeah. No, I think it's overall, it's very fun. Like, it's a great use of different types of technologies as you go through the attraction too. Like, I was very impressed with the different storytelling devices they used, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I went on it twice in a row, which is very rare for me to do anything twice in a row. So kudos to them. Great job, team. All of that stuff was fantastic.
Agreed.
All right. So that was Wednesday. Thursday, we heard a little bit more about this in the backstory, and we'll have more stories up about that in the near future. We also began our coverage of the holidays at Disneyland Resort, and there is so much going on this year. I feel like in some ways this might be the busiest holiday season that the Disneyland Resort has ever had. And a big reason for that is there's so much entertainment. And we've heard a lot about entertainment, I feel like, in the Disney community in the last few months. A lot of it being, they're getting rid of it. And I just think they changed the budget. Like, they're like, oh no, we're not getting rid of it. We're just moving the budget over here, because there is so much entertainment to be enjoyed at the Disneyland Resort during the holidays. And there's the returning classics like Believe and World of Color Seasonal Light, and a Christmas Fantasy Parade, and the Dickens Band, and the Disneyland Band, and the Dapper Dans,
and Santa Claus.
And Santa Claus. But Santa Claus is in a new place.
It's in a new place, but Santa
is back. But in Fantasyland Theater, which is great, and it's such a huge improvement. It feels like you're stepping back into a cartoon, half century ago. Like they really did a fantastic job with Fantasyland Theater. And I hope this is just a first step and they continue to build on this, because you really could see this becoming kind of like a Santa's Village thing in the future. Like it really is cute. And it does also a nice job of combining the Fantasyland part of Fantasyland Theater with some of the vibes of Toontown, with some classic Disney cartoons, mainly Mickey, or I guess Chip and Dale and Goofy and Pluto. But they did a fantastic job there. And I wasn't even going to talk about that, but that's where the Dickens Band is. If you want to see them, they're there all day. Great place to see them, because you can actually watch them without all of Main Street walking in front of you as you're trying to watch the band. And they sound better there because the acoustics are better. That's a returning thing, though.
Yes.
What else is returning?
Viva Navidad.
Viva Navidad, only on weekends, though.
Mickey's Happy Holidays.
So Viva Navidad is only Saturday and Sundays. Yes, Mickey's Happy Holidays. Keep that in mind, because the condensed timeline for them makes it that much more popular. We saw people basically, like, we got there really early on Saturday for the first show, so we waited 2 hours. And I would say the bulk of the crowd was in place at least an hour before, if not an hour and a half before, for the first show. And then as soon as that first show was over, there were already people lining up for the next show. So just keep that in mind if that's something on your priority. Mickey's Happy Holidays has returned. That is correct. The Avengers Assemble with Hawkeye is back, and that's really fun. What's also there that's brand new is Storytime with Deadpool and Wolverine. They're doing Christmas stories this year. They're doing A Christmas Carol, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And on top of that, they're doing a Christmas fantasy through Avengers Campus.
Don't you think it's funny
that I just said all of that? Yes.
Also that. Don't you think it's funny that a Ryan Reynolds character is telling the story of...
There's some like circles happening there. Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some very unique
This
things.
is my yearly plug. If you
Where's the top hat?
If you have not seen Spirited on Apple TV Plus,
watch it.
Go drop what you're doing after this. After this, do not go away. But drop what you're doing and go watch Spirited. Give yourself a great 2.5 hours. It's a great movie. It's fantastic. Music by Pasek and Paul. Go watch it.
Okay. Back to Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
The two stories are great.
Yes.
Perhaps the funniest thing they do, though, is picture this. Deadpool riding his unicorn. We've seen this. Wolverine trying to get him out of there. We've seen this. To the music of A Christmas Fantasy Parade.
That's insane to
me. It is insane. I never thought I would see that. It's absolutely hilarious. It's mid-afternoon-ish. Like, just...
hang out.
Don't miss it. It's funny. Like, it's so ludicrous and ridiculous. Like, I sent it to somebody who hadn't seen the film before, or any of the films, and they're like, this is funny. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to think. But, like, that's what it is. Even if you have seen them, they're kind of, it's in that realm. Definitely we're seeing those shows. There's also 2 new entertainment offerings, I guess you could say. One being over by Paradise Gardens, and then the other one being, yes, we have video of all of that. And also the other one being in Carthay Circle on Buena Vista Street. In Paradise Gardens, or right at the entrance where they've done different shows in the past, they have I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's
something gift.
Yeah, it's gifts. It's something gifts. That's it. But it is, let's see if we can read this quick. No, we cannot. Oh, Mirabelle's Gifts of the Season.
There it is.
This has all of the music of Encanto. It has several of the characters from Encanto. Mirabelle sings. She's got some friends that are singing. There are, I think, 6 people we decided were singing. Is that what we landed on?
4. Oh, no, 6. It was
6. But it's very charming. She's supposed to be helping get ready for Christmas and decides to do her own thing. And along the way, she discovers the magic of friendships and loved ones during Christmas. And they're the best gift. Very cute, full of heart, has all of the music from Encanto that you're going to love. And I thought it was an all around enjoyable show.
It's a really fun show. It's also, we talked about it at Epcot, but the casting has come to life and it's
Nailed it.
It's
Awesome.
incredible.
Yeah. Very fun. We do have that up on our YouTube channel. You don't want to miss that. And it's one also that I really liked, where especially for younger fans, you have the opportunity to have your moment with the characters, because they do make their way around, and I thought it was very smartly choreographed in that regard. And really, like, it's one of those things that I think exceeds expectations, because it's not just a sing along, or it's not just music playing on a overhead. Like, people are really singing it. You see the characters come to life. They're interacting with you, and it's got a good message to it.
I think so too.
The other show,
A Musical Christmas with Mariachi Alegría de Disneyland y
and
Miguel.
there we go.
Oh my gosh, it's a really long name.
It's a really long name for a not really long show, but it's a very, very heartwarming show. So this one, go in being flexible. I'm just going to say that. It's not one you're going to camp out and wait for, because we did that the first time and they're not letting you do that anymore. From what I can tell, you now wait on the sidewalks. They're going to do a procession in with the mariachi band and some singers and dancers. As they go by, once they're past the viewing area, I think they allow you then to come in and take the space around the performance area that's marked off by black tape, so you can just find that there, and then you get to hear a bunch of Christmas tunes sung in both English and Spanish, and it culminates with Miguel showing up, and they sing Silent Night with candles, and it's a very heartwarming, might be the best entertainment offering they've really added on Buena Vista Street since opening day.
I would say do it after dark, because I think the candles make it.
I think they're all after dark right now.
The first one was.
It was dark by the time.
I remember it was duskish.
It was dusk at the beginning, but by the time the candles there, it was pretty dark.
Magic. I think it's the best entertainment offering to come to Buena Vista Street since, like you said, since opening, because Five and Dime.
Reopening, I should say. 2012 opening.
Yeah, well, that's what when I say Buena Vista Street opening, I mean 2012. No, I'm talking about Chance to Shine.
I think there's been nothing. I guess they really haven't added that much, but like it's at that level of opening day Five and Dime or Newsboys. Like, it's got that in a completely different way though, because whereas Five and Dime is whimsical and fun and happy, and Newsboys is energetic and pulsing, I guess you could say, this is very it's charming. It's the spirit of the holidays. It's very family. It's very white Christmassy, like it's very
to me, what I think is so beautiful about this is that this Buena Vista Street is a real street in Los Angeles. If you go up the 101, I think you can see Buena Vista Street. But I think what Disney has really started to nail is that, especially in Southern California, most people here have grown up not celebrating Christmas in the way that it's been celebrated at the Disney parks. And so I think about like this show, and first of all, having mariachi music at Christmas, really great choice. But I also think about like talking about making tamales on Christmas Eve and all these things. I sent my best friend Itzy a video, and she was like, this is one of my favorite things because like I love this song. I just have to say it. There's a lot of songs that she grew up not knowing were actually English songs first. And so I can't remember what song it is that they sing in. Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
But they nailed both of them. Like, and they hit both sides, or like both of the languages.
I was like, did you not know this song was in English? She's like, I had no idea the song was in English. But it's amazing. It's so fun. And you also don't have to speak Spanish when you're in the show. So. And
if you had a cup of hot cocoa, even better.
That'd be perfect.
But no, it's a really fantastic show. It does, I think, what they were hoping the tree lighting would do when they did it the one year with all of the characters and stuff. but in a more effective way. And I think because it feels almost just a little bit more authentic, if I were to make a guess. Because I really loved the tree lighting moment, but it also like it was fine. Like it was fine, but it wasn't necessarily unique to Buena Vista Street. Whereas this feels like this is in world. Whereas that could have been New York, it could have been Chicago, it could have been anywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
And this feels very unique to Buena Vista Street in Carthay Circle, and it just feels like it belongs there really well. And even if you just want to watch them walk by and doing their procession, like that's totally cool too, I think. But I was perfectly fine. I watched 2 shows on Thursday, and the first show we were up like right up the front row, great. Second show we watched from across the street, it's still
a great,
like, you don't have to be right there in the crowd to watch it.
the energy is very engaging.
Yeah, and
no
it's
matter where you
almost
are.
more fun to watch it from further back and watching people react to it, because I was seeing different people react in different ways that were all very happy and cheerful and spirited and very fun to watch. The one thing I will say is if you do go up front and you're on the front facing the performance, know that at the end of the show, they're going to split you and they're going to march on through the middle. So be ready wherever you're at to move over so that they can get out, and you won't want to miss that. Be flexible. Like I will say, like that's the hard part with this show is the getting in and the getting out is a bit complicated. We were even joking with one of the cast members that maybe we should have a guest rehearsal for getting in and out on Thursday night when we saw it the first time, just because it's ambitious. But I think it's good ambitious. Like I think they should do more things like that, because I'm glad they reached further than just went, we're gonna throw it on a stage up above where nobody can, because you do feel like you're connecting with the show with it being in and around and right there in front of you.
I agree.
I do too. So now let's return. There's also snow moments in downtown Disney. There's carolers in the hotels. There's all sorts of stuff. Bands playing. There's so many bands this year. We're gonna have an article up very soon that's gonna have all of the bands that are playing from now to the end of the holidays. Because we do have the information, we just need to get it out. But you won't want to miss any of them, or as many as you can get to, because there are so many cool things to experience during the holidays. So, favorite big show during the holidays?
Oh,
So that'd be like a big parade. It could be,
I'm gonna say a Christmas Fantasy.
Okay, which was very fun to watch the other night, or day. We caught the first showing of that, and it was very happy, I guess.
Something about Christmas Fantasy feels like a warm hug to me.
Mhm.
And yes, I can say that and also advocate for that parade to hit the road.
I would not like it to hit the road.
I know you would.
It is a little bit shorter this year, but
oh, thank goodness.
But no, it's a fun parade. I really like it a lot. I would like to see Season of Lighting, World of Color Season of Lighting. That actually is one of my favorites because it's just so fun. And they do have the virtual queue for that, so good to go.
You know what they didn't bring back this year?
What?
Luminaria. What's that about? Why didn't they bring? And you know what? I saw they put a weird Little Mermaid store. That used to be where you could write letters to Santa.
There you go.
I don't know what
write letters to Santa though in Fantasyland at the Fantasyland Theater.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, that was all DCA 1.0.
That's old stuff.
Only 2001.
Yes.
I was barely conscious.
Barely. Because you were asleep. No.
I wish. 'Twas the night before Christmas.
Exactly. Anyway, we will get as many of the bands as we can, as many entertainment offerings as we can, and as many of the microphones as we can as well.
As many of the microphones.
So you can still hear us when the dog plays with the microphone. But
we
are beginning to run out of time for tonight, so we're hitting Geeks Corner Plus. If you have any comments or questions, whatever, that you'd like us to respond to about Tiana's Bayou adventure, if it's about holidays, anything, let us know in the comments. We'll stick around for a couple more minutes and reply to those as quickly as we possibly can. We are getting video of all of the recurring things, if that's a question that hasn't popped up. Mickey's birthday, we did cover yesterday. I can respond to that. It was a cavalcade, and they sang happy birthday to Mickey Mouse, and then they cavalcaded their way out.
Did they sing
And-
happy birthday to Minnie too, or was it just Mickey?
I think it was both of them.
Oh, thank goodness.
I don't actually completely remember now, but I think it was both of them.
Women's rights.
But it's cute. Like it's a cute, makes you feel good, like old school Disney thing that I'm glad they continue to do every year, and we'll continue covering it as long as we can.
That was her opinion.
Yes, more than they did for Donald. They did do more for Mickey and Minnie than they did for Donald. But yes, we're gonna try to get videos, all the recurring entertainment offerings. So like the Mickey's Happy Holidays, we already got World of Color, we got Believe, we got Christmas Fantasy Parade, which we'll get again, I think, because it was a windy day, so not everything was like the snowflakes didn't have their snowflakes on them, because they blow away as snow does when the snow comes down. I think we still need to get the snow moment. We need to get there's Along the Rivers of America, Jambalaya Jazz Band is playing, and they play Snow White Christmas at one point.
They play Snow White.
That's it. Anyway, I've had a lot of information in the last week. Like, I'm amazed I've remembered as much as I have. But anyway, so all of that we will have up in the near future. We're going to try to get a bunch of bands. We're going to try to get some of the carolers. We'll try to get some of those breakout groups. We do have Mostly Kosher coming in the next couple of days as well. But it's a marathon. And then we'll have Candlelight coming up as well at the beginning of next month, and we'll record both Saturday and Sunday for those, just like we always do. And we're excited this year because I think our recording might be better than ever before. Knock on wood. All right, Katie, we are running out of time. What should people do?
You should go to dapsmagic.com, check all the Disney and geek news as it happens, subscribe to our mailing list, and also go to patreon.com/dapsmagic and join a community of super cool people who get an exclusive pre-show to this show, which is typically a party and also typically kind of weird.
Right. In the pre-show, they got to see what's inside the bag. Super exciting.
I wasn't allowed to see what's in the bag because I wasn't on the Patreon stream.
No, we unboxed our swag bag from Tiana's Bayou Adventure Media.
But no, it's a great deal of fun, and you should join us because it's just a way to feel a little bit closer to us here at Daps Magic.
That is right. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you don't miss any of the videos I just talked about as they come online on our YouTube channel. And we're getting close to 100,000, so invite your friends as well. It's amazing how close we're getting. They sent me an email saying we're getting close. So that's how you know it's true. But that is all the time we have for you this week. We will see you around the corner.